Have you been experiencing that moment when you wake up tentatively, rub your eyes and think to yourself, why is everything so incredibly blurred? Do the simple numbers on your digital clock appear fuzzy? Does the morning sunlight feel intensely harsh? And for those first critical minutes, does it seem as though your vision simply hasn't managed to activate yet? This phenomenon, far from rare, affects a substantial number of people once they pass the age of 60. But let me be clear, this is not always an unavoidable consequence of the aging process. In fact, that distinctive morning blur, coupled with the feeling of a gritty dryness and the slow warming up process your eyes seem to demand, can all be powerful indicators that your ocular system did not receive the critical support it required during the night. Before we proceed, allow me to ask you a few direct questions about your symptoms. When you first wake up, how long does that feeling of blurriness typically last? Do you feel a distinct gritty, sandy, or foreign body sensation in your eyes when you blink? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being intolerable, how sensitive are your eyes to bright light in the morning? Have you noticed your night vision becoming significantly worse, especially with glare? Do your eyes feel puffy, swollen, or unusually strained right after you open them? The good news, which I am pleased to share with you, is that we can absolutely address these underlying issues without resorting to prescription medications, without the constant need for artificial eye drops, and without the introduction of complicated, time-consuming routines. Today, I want to present you with something truly foundational and remarkably simple. Just 3 common foods consumed thoughtfully before you retire for the night that can fundamentally help your eyes to hydrate, repair, and naturally wake up sharper. If this is your first time consulting with me, I extend a sincere welcome. After more than 30 years dedicated to the care of older adults, I have personally observed how even the smallest, most intentional adjustments, particularly those implemented right before bed, can translate into profound and lasting improvements in how your eyes feel the moment you greet the day. If you are genuinely invested in preserving your health, and if you are frankly tired of being dismissed with the notion that blurry vision is simply a burden you must accept, then you are precisely where you need to be. And if you are new here, I encourage you to subscribe so you won't miss the practical evidence-based guidance I provide every week to help your body heal and retain its strength as you age. Now let's dive into the first crucial food on our list, the one that initiates the essential circulation process while you sleep. 1. Prunes, the circulation catalyst. We must begin by discussing something many people overlook in the context of eye health: prunes. Yes, prunes. They are most frequently recognized and consumed for their digestive benefits. However, when we consider your ocular system, especially in the years after 60, prunes may be accomplishing a far more comprehensive task than you currently realize. Consider this: your eyesight is fundamentally dependent on a delicate and intricate network of minuscule blood vessels known as capillaries, which are responsible for delivering vital oxygen and essential nutrients to the retina. The retina is the paper-thin, light-sensitive tissue at the back of your eye where the physiological magic of vision begins. It converts light into the electrical signals your brain interprets. Like any living active tissue, it cannot adequately repair itself or function optimally without an unwavering, steady blood supply. Here is where the problem often arises as we progress in years. Those tiny capillaries can become narrower, lose their flexibility, and ultimately become less efficient. Co-occurring conditions frequently seen in seniors, such as high blood pressure or diabetes, only exacerbate this critical issue. Therefore, you could be diligently consuming all the correct nutritious foods, yet those vital compounds may never fully reach the structures deep within your eyes. You can visualize this as attempting to water your garden with a garden hose that has a severe kink in it. The water nutrients is present, but it cannot get through the blockage. This is the precise moment when prunes become instrumental. Prunes perform a surprisingly potent function. They actively help your blood vessels, particularly the minuscule capillaries located behind your eyes, to remain flexible and open. This is of paramount importance because when those vessels become stiffened with age, blood flow slows dramatically. The beneficial nutrients you consume, such as lutein vitamin A or various antioxidants, simply cannot reach the retina where they are most desperately required. Think of this stagnation like trying to send an urgent delivery to a house, but the only road leading there is completely blocked. Prunes, in essence, help to clear that critical path. They are remarkably rich in vitamin K1, a nutrient that powerfully supports capillary health, ensuring those tiny vessels stay open, strong, and functional. In fact, research published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging indicated that older adults who maintained a higher consumption of vitamin K1 demonstrated superior blood flow to their delicate tissues, including the complex structures of the eyes. Yet the benefits extend beyond mere circulation. Prunes are also densely packed with potassium, and this element carries significant importance for your eyes as well. Why? Because while you are asleep, the pressure naturally present inside your eyes can rise slightly. In individuals over the age of 60, that pressure sometimes remains elevated for a longer duration than is ideal. This persistent elevation is what contributes to that distinctive puffy sensation, or why your eyes may feel noticeably swollen or foggy upon waking. Potassium assists in the crucial regulation of this internal pressure. It helps to keep the fluid balance within your eyes more stable and acts as a shield protecting your delicate optic nerve from potential long-term damage. A 2019 study published in Ophthalmic Research revealed that older adults with a consistently higher potassium intake had a lower statistical risk of developing high intraocular pressure, a key established factor in the development of glaucoma and age-related vision loss. And there is one final often missed bonus: prunes also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, the very same foundational antioxidants found in leafy green vegetables. These protective compounds are deposited in the macula, the central most important part of your retina, where they function like internal sunglasses, effectively shielding your eyes from damaging blue light and actively supporting sharper vision, especially in low-light conditions. Therefore, when you choose to eat prunes, you are not merely facilitating the delivery of nutrients to their necessary destination. You are also concurrently delivering potent direct protection to the most sensitive and vulnerable parts of your vision system. I recall a patient of mine, a 74-year-old gentleman who committed to eating 2 prunes before bed for a period of 3 weeks. He reported back to me saying, "My eyes simply don't feel foggy anymore. I wake up seeing clearly now." This isn't coincidency. It is your circulation being intentionally restored. How to implement prunes. If you feel ready to try this simple approach for yourself, the process is straightforward. Seek out unsweetened, unsulfured prunes, the kind that are free from any added sugars or unnecessary preservatives. Consume just 1 to 2 pieces approximately 45 minutes to 1 hour before you plan to go to sleep. You can eat them as a standalone snack, or if you prefer a softer, creamier texture, you can chop them and mix them into a small serving of plain Greek yogurt. Importantly, prunes have a low glycemic index, which means they will not cause an undesirable spike in your blood sugar. In fact, they may contribute to stabilizing it overnight. This matters far more than most people acknowledge, because erratic blood sugar fluctuations can temporarily distort the shape of the eye's lens, often leading to that frustrating early morning blur. So from this moment forward, when you consider prunes, do not just think digestion. Consider them the foundational step in assisting your eyes to repair, rehydrate, and greet the morning with clarity. 2. Pistachios, the nighttime shield. Now that we have effectively opened the crucial blood flow pathways with the prunes, your eyes are finally in a position to adequately receive the necessary nutrients. However, we face a new distinct challenge. How do we actively protect those nutrients and the fragile cells of your retina from the cellular damage that occurs while you sleep? The reality is, your eyes do not simply cease their work at night. Even with your eyelids securely closed, your retina is continuously busy repairing, processing residual light signals, and actively rebuilding key proteins like rhodopsin, the compound solely responsible for your ability to see in low-light environments. This intensive nighttime activity, by its very nature, generates what we call oxidative stress, tiny bursts of cellular wear and tear that accumulate throughout the night. If this wear and tear is allowed to continue unchecked, it can accelerate the early breakdown of retinal cells, contribute to damage of the optic nerve, and ultimately hasten age-related vision loss. Therefore, we urgently need a shield, something that silently and powerfully guards your eyes while you rest. That shield is found in pistachios. They may be small in stature, but they stand out as one of the most eye-protective nuts you can possibly consume. Here is the powerful reasoning behind their inclusion. Pistachios are notably rich in vitamin E, a powerful fat-soluble antioxidant that easily integrates itself into the fatty membranes of your eye cells, specifically your rods and cones, the cells responsible for detecting light. Once there, it actively helps to neutralize oxidative stress before it can inflict damage. This single, simple nutrient has been consistently linked to a slower rate of macular degeneration in older adults, especially when it is sourced from whole natural foods like nuts. But this is only one layer of defense. Pistachios also contain a high concentration of the two essential pigments. Your retina absolutely requires lutein and zeaxanthin. These settle into the macula and function as sophisticated natural filters, helping to block harmful blue light and significantly reduce glare, which is especially beneficial when driving at night or navigating artificial indoor lighting. And if you are a person who struggles with the process of falling asleep, pistachios bring one more unexpected valuable benefit. They are one of the richest natural plant-based sources of melatonin, the hormone that acts as a signal telling your brain it is time to transition into rest. In fact, researchers at Nutrition Neuroscience found that pistachios contain more melatonin per gram than almost any other plant-based food item. This means they don't just protect your eyes, they help your entire body to relax, thereby granting your eyes the deep, uninterrupted rest they absolutely require for recovery. They are also an excellent source of magnesium and vitamin B6, both of which play crucial roles in supporting the health of the optic nerve and helping to regulate the consistent production of tears overnight. I had a patient, Linda, 68 years old, who shared this common complaint with me. My eyes feel so dry in the morning, and night driving has become a nightmare. The glare makes it impossible to see. We simply incorporated 6 pistachios into her routine, consumed about 30 minutes before bedtime. Within just 2 weeks, she reported, "My eyes are not scratchy anymore. I drove home from my book club last night without having to squint once." Simple, natural, and incredibly effective. How to implement pistachios. If you wish to integrate this yourself, look for unsalted raw or dry roasted pistachios. Consume a small serving of 5 to 7 nuts approximately 30 to 60 minutes prior to going to bed. If you find that digesting nuts right before sleep causes any discomfort, try pairing them with a small spoonful of plain yogurt or a few slices of kiwi for added vitamin C and hydration. It is important to avoid pairing pistachios with very salty foods or caffeine at this time of night, as those substances can counteract their intended calming effects. So we have successfully established the second layer of our protocol. Prunes opened the critical circulation pathways. Pistachios are now guarding the path. Your retina is receiving protection, your optic nerve is getting support, and your body is receiving the gentle, essential signal that it is time to rest, repair, and reset. 3. Chia seeds, the rebuilding material. We have successfully cleared the necessary pathways with prunes, and we have established protection with pistachios. Now we arrive at the final crucial element, rebuilding. Because protection alone, I must emphasize, is not sufficient. Your eyes not only require shielding from potential damage, they must be actively restored cell by cell, layer by layer, while you are sleeping. For this extensive work, your body requires raw materials, the specific nutrients that are capable of repairing cell membranes, deeply hydrating tissues, and rebuilding the physical structures that maintain your eyes as clear, moist, and sharp. This is where chia seeds enter our protocol. These diminutive seeds may not appear significant, but they are densely packed with eye-repairing power. They are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically ALA, the type that directly assists in rebuilding the outer membranes of your retinal cells. Here is the part that holds significant clinical importance as we age. those delicate cell membranes naturally begin to thin out and lose their essential flexibility. This is the moment you typically start noticing symptoms like persistent dry eyes, a slower focusing ability, or feeling intensely sensitive to light shortly after waking. When you consume chia seeds on a regular basis, you are providing your body with the essential fats it needs to literally rebuild those fragile cells and restore your inherent ability to see clearly without unnecessary strain. Furthermore, researchers have found that the omega-3 fatty acids sourced from chia seeds help to calm inflammation inside the retina and actively support the natural production of tears, which is particularly beneficial for older adults who struggle with chronic dry eye. And here is a benefit you may not have anticipated. Chia seeds significantly assist your body in maintaining hydration. When the seeds are soaked in water, they form a characteristic soft gel. That gel performs multiple functions. It slows digestion, enhances overall fluid retention, and even helps to stabilize blood sugar levels overnight, a factor that, as previously noted, is vital for achieving clear vision in the morning. That same gel effect directly supports the minuscule tear glands that are tasked with keeping your eyes moist. Instead of your eyes drying out while you sleep, they remain smoother, noticeably more comfortable, and feel significantly less gritty when you wake up. One more quiet, powerful benefit is that chia seeds contain tryptophan. This is a natural compound your body utilizes as a precursor to produce melatonin, which then gently supports deeper, more restorative sleep. The deeper the quality of your sleep, the more efficiently your eyes can undergo their necessary repair process. I once treated a patient, Mr. Alvarez, aged 71, who began eating soaked chia seeds with a small amount of banana and cinnamon about an hour before bed. After just 2 weeks, he enthusiastically told me, "I'm not waking up with dry eyes anymore. They feel calm, not tight." How to implement chia seeds? If you are ready to try this, the method is simple. Take 1 tablespoon of chia seeds and mix them into a small glass of water or almond milk. Allow the mixture to sit for 20 to 30 minutes until it forms a noticeable gel. This is when the seeds are ready to eat, soft, highly digestible, and much more absorbable. You can enjoy it as is, or stir in a few banana slices, a dash of cinnamon, or even a chopped prune if you want to combine their individual benefits. If the process of soaking feels like too much effort, you can still sprinkle the dry chia seeds into a spoon of plain yogurt. The benefits will still manifest, though the hydration effect will be stronger when they are soaked. Either way, the final result is the same. You are supplying your eyes with the specific raw materials they need to actively rebuild what time and cellular stress have gradually worn down. We have now seen how each of these 3 foods plays a unique vital role. Prunes help the necessary nutrients reach your eyes. Pistachios provide active protection for your retina throughout the night. And chia seeds supply your body with the essential materials to rebuild and restore. But here is the genuine magic: they function exponentially better when consumed together. This is not merely a snack. It is a simple, profoundly calming ritual that acts as a signal to your body. It's time to rest. It's time to heal. And it takes less than 5 minutes to execute. Here is my professional recommendation for integrating this protocol into your life. Timing: approximately 45 to 60 minutes before your intended bedtime, find a quiet moment after dinner. The combination: on a small plate or in a dish, combine the following: 2 prunes, unsweetened, unsulfured; 5-6 pistachios, unsalted raw or dry roasted; 1 small serving of soaked chia seeds. Mix tablespoon of seeds with liquid and let it gel. Consumption: you may eat these 3 components separately, or you can mix them into a small bowl of plain yogurt for ease of consumption. Adding banana slices or a pinch of cinnamon is optional, but can enhance the taste and relaxation effect. Mindfulness: the critical element here is not perfection, but consistency. Consume this combination ideally without any distractions. No screens, no rushing. Just you, your breath, and the confident knowledge that you are performing a powerful act of support for your body. I often suggest that you pair this intentional moment with a warm cup of chamomile tea or plain warm lemon water. This is not for added nutrients. but because it acts as an additional signal to your nervous system, granting it permission to truly let go. You do not have to adhere to this routine every single night, but implementing it most nights, especially during periods when your eyes feel particularly tired, irritated, or foggy, can lead to a profound, noticeable difference. You are not merely eating, you are signaling. You are letting your body know it is safe and that the repair process can now commence. And when you next wake up with clearer vision, significantly less strain, and a palpable sense of ease in your eyes, you will feel the undeniable difference. It requires no complex supplements and no prescription, just a few small intentional bites taken with care. Sometimes we forget that the most powerful healing is not derived from a pharmaceutical pill. It originates from consistency, from intention, and from the quiet, wise choices we commit to making every day. What you choose to eat before bed may seem like a small detail, but to your body, and most specifically to your eyes, it speaks volumes. A few prunes, some pistachios, a spoonful of chia. Each plays a specific essential part. Each one supports the others. It is not a rigid treatment plan. It is a signal, a soft, steady rhythm that conveys, I am still actively taking care of myself. And that is what truly matters, because aging does not equate to losing control. It means intelligently learning how to support your body in smarter, kinder, and more holistic ways. You are not broken. Your body has not given up on you. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of targeted help and a little patience. I sincerely thank you for investing this time in your own health. If you found this information beneficial, I would be grateful if you could share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. How have your eyes been feeling lately? I truly want to hear your story.